Welcome in, my beautiful builders. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a farming frenzy by making this guy, and this guy. Let's get into it. So as I'm sure you could tell from the intro, we have a lot to do today. We have an insane amount of things on our to-do list, so we really don't have any time to waste at all. And with that being said, let's just get right into our first project. This is our skeleton spawner, and we actually found this a few episodes back, and I just haven't had the time to really set up a proper trap for these guys. So that's what I want to start off with today, is just make a simple skeleton farm so that we can get bones pretty easily in this world. So I'm just going to fill in the floor here a bit, like so, get us a nice flat surface, and this should be a pretty simple farm to set up. However, I do think I want to make my way back to the base just to get some building blocks, because I know myself, and if I don't decorate this thing now while I'm doing this, I'm never going to decorate the inside of this thing. So let me go grab some deep slate and some stone and cobblestone and just things like that so that I can actually decorate this thing while I'm doing it, because otherwise I'm never going to come back and do it. Let's just be honest. And whenever I say decorate, in this case, I don't actually mean anything fancy by any means. In fact, for this build in particular, I really don't want fancy. I want something that's kind of creepy. I really want this to feel more like a crypt or a dungeon or something like that. Maybe something that you would see in like a Elder Scrolls video game or something like that. I really don't want beautiful. I want musty. Yeah, musty's a good word. I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for here. And I feel like I kind of hit the nail on the head with that. This is not bad. I mean, it's not, the most amazing thing in the world, but that's exactly what I want. I want it to be kind of plain, kind of bland, and I think that this works out pretty good. Just cobblestone, cobbled deep slate, and it's definitely got that grungy look. Definitely has that grungy look. Now, something that I did change out is this bottom 2 blocks of deep slate. I was using deep slate walls all the way up, but I'm scared that the skeletons may get trapped on the edge of these cobblestone blocks if I don't do this. So I'm hoping by just putting 2 there, these guys should be able to very smoothly run against this wall and still end up in the trap. So that's the goal out of this. Now, as for this trap, I mean, you guys have probably seen these things a gajillion times, but just in case you've never seen it, water bucket there, and then all the water is going to flow until it's all meeting up right here in the center, and then we're going to do a water elevator to dump these guys over and do fall damage to them. So, super simple farm. Been around in the community for probably a decade. And just using a little bit of ice in order to fill out our water elevator, and boom. Nice and easy. All right. Alternatively, you can use kelp in order to do that, but I find using ice to be really simple. So how am I going to get back down? Okay, so I made sure that we had our drop chute in the correct location, and now it should just be a matter of digging down, and we should end up, yes, right here. Perfect. Okay, so now we are going to have to drop this just by a little bit, because this is 20 block fall, I believe. So this would be 21, 22, 23. So this would be where we want the skeletons to fall down to. Hopefully we can still make this room look okay, though. Okay, so I think that something like this layout-wise will work out fine. So this is going to be our killing chamber. This is going to be where all of these skeletons stack up. And then around the back here, we can go up this staircase, and this is going to be our viewing platform. This is going to be so we can see into the farm while we're AFKing and things like that. I kind of like how this is kind of narrow as well, so it really feels a lot more claustrophobic. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. So I think this will work. Obviously, we need to make an actual proper room here that looks pretty, but layout-wise, I think that this works, and we should be able to get the farm on functionally at least. So probably just lay down some tinted glass here just so that light does not seep out of our room into this one, and then we should be able to cut out the lights in here and see if this farm actually works. Let's go ahead and grab all of our stuff from over here first, though. All right, so let's go ahead and give this thing a test now. Go ahead and remove all of the torches. I already have an escape route planned, so hopefully everything goes fine. We already got shot once, but okay, we're fine. Go ahead and close that up, and probably want to get some stone for here. I have a little bit. Whoops. There we go. Go ahead and fill some stone in there, and it is very dark in there. Very dark in there. Although it does look like we're getting lit on that side of the room, probably because the cave is back there and I do have torches in there still. So I may have to go and remove some caves from that, or go and remove torches from that cave. But overall, it's working. Or at least it sounds like it's working. I heard one fall. Hello! Nice. Yep, definitely working. Okay, so I know that the farm works now, but everything around here is still, well, it's still ugly. We're still using this cave to get back and forth and all of that. Not really how I want this to look. I want this to look grungy, like I said, but I do want it to look like a finished product. So out here on the side of the mountain, I went ahead and used my coordinates for where our skeleton farm actually spits out, and I lined it up with this mark right here. So this should be the center of where our skeleton farm is. So now I think I should just be able to dig down a staircase, and eventually we'll hit the skeleton farm. Not gonna lie, a very long dark hallway with a bunch of skeletons sitting at the end. This could look pretty creepy. Especially now that we can actually play around with light levels in Minecraft. We can make this area look pretty spooky, I think. Alrighty, so now we are connected up to our skeleton farm. We have this nice long hallway that we can do something with, a nice staircase, and then right out front we have our mountainside. And I think where I want to start is with an entrance right here. And what I'm going for here is kind of a darker crypt entrance, I think is what I'm going for. So we're going to have like a nice big arch at the front for our entranceway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. And that will be how tall our arch itself is. And then for this section, that's going to be more of a decorative section, we'll come up a little bit higher. So maybe that high. That's what, 4 blocks higher? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4 blocks higher than our initial arch. And I think that should look pretty good for another wall that can go as like a decorative piece behind it. And we'll just extend it out a little bit on each side, and we'll basically just make this another wall that we can add some decoration to. So I'm a little bit worried about this being too big, but I'm going to continue going with it for right now because I still think it could look really cool. So I'm thinking an arch here connecting from this pillar to this pillar, and then some type of decorative bit behind it right there. And then for these walls, we'll just fill them in with deep slate walls or something like that. And then I may even do like some type of extension bit over here on each side. Maybe just some type of stony texture. That way this blends in with the mountain a little bit more. That's my plan. Let's see how this works. You know, it's not lost on me that I went in the last episode to get bamboo, and yet I'm still just pillaring up with blocks rather than using scaffolding. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So nice arch in here. I put some blocks behind these stairs just to kind of fill in that area. But I think that we need some type of connecting bit here, something that's a little bit more intricate to bring that out. And I'm thinking maybe we just connect up just a little bit above this hole, and then we'll just fill in that hole with the deep slate walls. That could add just a little bit of a black texture to the top that could look kind of cool. Okay, so we'll build up just a bit like this, and like I said, I want to go up a little bit higher. I don't want to connect right into there because I think making this look a little bit like an arch as well could do a lot for the build. And then we'll just leave that block in there and we'll do something like that. So we kind of have this H shape that's going on here. Let's go ahead and fill this in like so, and let's go take a look. And it works. It works. It does look nice. Not really the creepy vibe that I'm going for here, though. It's definitely more ornate than I was going for. I think to add a creepy vibe to this, what I may do is, obviously I need to texture it with cobblestone and things like that to kind of break it up, give it that grungy vibe that we've been going for. But also, maybe if we add like some spiked bits to the top, to the ceiling, that could look really good here. It would make it look, I don't know, more dungeon-like than... Right now, this feels like a grand entranceway into a castle or something. Okay, so to make this look a little bit more jagged, maybe we'll just do a block here on the corner, and then maybe one block back, because we still want to keep this arch look that's in the middle. Maybe one block back, we just do like 2 up like that, and then maybe we'll do like a peak here in the middle, 1 block back. And to fill in the gaps between, let's go with some deep slate slabs. Let's do it here instead. Let's do it like that. I think that'll look pretty cool. And then we can do the exact same thing. Do I want to do it like that? That's probably going to look funny, isn't it? Let's instead go with deep slate bricks right there. Yeah, I think that'll look cool. That'll give us like a different tone to this as well. So maybe like that. And then I'll just do a double slab there for right now. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So heading around to the front, and I'm running out of stone bricks to pillar up with, by the way. Thankfully, this is the strongest tree leaves in the world. I'm building an entire castle on top of this tree. Yeah, that's a lot more. That's a lot more like what I was going for. Yeah, it's a little bit more spiked at the top. It's definitely a little bit creepier now. Okay, that works. Definitely need to blend this into the mountain on each side, though. And definitely need to actually connect it into the mountain. So, still a little bit of work to do, but I like the initial design at least. Also, something I do just want to mention really quickly is thank you guys for the feedback 2 episodes ago on how you guys like the step-by-step building as we go through with the series here, because that actually really helped me out a lot, and I determined that I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep showing myself building on camera and stuff like that. I know not everybody likes it, but I think that overall it's got a pretty positive perception of people enjoying me showing what I'm doing on camera, even if it's, maybe not the most entertaining thing in the world, watching me place blocks over and over again. Sometimes it does have benefit to other people that's, more educational. So I really like that, and thank you guys for all of the feedback. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and these sides may end up looking pretty plain. So what I may do is just do like a 2-block gap and do some more spiky business on the sides here, just to kind of give that a little bit of a look. So 2 blocks, 2 blocks. Yeah, that'll look good, maybe. I may need a full block here. Hold on. Just to tie that into the mountain. Am I good? Do we have any holes? I don't think we have any holes. I think we're fine. Yeah, that's something that I was a bit concerned about. The side view of this, the side view looks pretty terrible. I mean, the front view looks pretty good, right? I like the look of this, but this side view, yeah, we got to do something about that. I think that bringing up the mountain, getting in some stone here, and just blending the mountain into this entrance, I think that's going to be the best approach here, because otherwise this is just going to look real weird. Okay, all right, yeah, let's go for it. So right now, this probably looks a little bit goofy, but I think that the next time that it snows and all of this stone has a snow layer on top of it, I think that it'll look a lot better. I do. I think that right now the transition is just pretty harsh because there's no snow in this stone at all. But I think as far as it blending into the mountain, I think it does look better. It looks like this entranceway was actually kind of dug into the mountain, and I think that looks pretty cool. So now I want to move on to the inside and see if we can get that looking in better shape. And as night falls upon our valleys, something that I really want to play around with in this entranceway is block lighting. In Minecraft 1.18, block lighting was actually changed, and as long as you have any light level above 0, mobs won't spawn. This gives us the opportunity as builders to actually play around with lighting, and we can keep the lights pretty low and still not have mobs spawn. So things can get real moody around here, especially if you use soul campfires or soul torches or anything like that. You can make this area feel a lot different with the lighting. So that's going to be one of my goals with this, is to make this look still kind of cool and interesting, but definitely going for a moodier vibe here. I want something that's I don't know, creepy. I want it as you come into this crypt to deal with the skeletons. You're kind of creeped out. You're kind of creeped out as you go through this area. Okay, so I've worked on this interior for a little while, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think it came out looking pretty cool, but it's also something I've never done before, so let's take a look at it. And I mean, my inspiration here was just as dark and as creepy as I could get it, and I mean, I feel like I succeeded. I definitely feel like I'm going into an area where I have a high chance of dying. I mean, obviously this area is completely safe, but still, it's got that creepy feel to it. It definitely has that creepy feel to it, and overall, I think that this came out okay. The interior is once again a little bit simple, but I'm okay with that. All right, we have other projects to work on for today, though. We can't spend all day over here, even though I do think that it turned out looking pretty cool. We have other farms to get to. And I actually don't have a ton of time left today in order to do these last couple of farms, so we gotta move pretty quick. Okay, so I'm over here at my villager trading hall, and I think the next couple of farms that I want to get in, I'm going to put over against this wall. And I want to keep these farms fairly close to the villagers, because most of these farms, what I'm going to get from them, I'm just going to trade right back to the villagers. So keeping these fairly close by is probably a good idea. So very first farm that we're going to do is going to be a light-based nano farm. And the idea with this guy is that we're just going to hold down right-click, and we're going to have things bone mealed for us so that we can just hold right-click, and the crops are going to get broken automatically and end up in a chest. So that's the goal with this thing anyway. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this set up. So dispensers like that, and then our last dispenser actually needs to face upside down. So let's get some stone like so. Get the dispenser. I need this facing... There we go. I think that's facing down, and now the last thing that we need is our observer facing into a block. So let's just place that down like that, and we can go ahead and pick that back up. So that is going to be the basis of the farm. Now all that I need is some redstone dust here, 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 and then on top of here, and that should be pretty close to done. So now, let's go ahead and place down a sticky piston facing up here. and then whatever block that we want on top of that. I think I'm going to go with stone in this case. So the stone is just going to come up and down as we update with that observer. Now we need to get power down to that guy, and I think probably the best way to do that is going to be another piston facing down, I would think. So, or maybe we could even... Could we maybe even just run a line straight up? Oh, that's water. I didn't mean for that to be there. Okay, so I kind of did this in the messiest way possible, but it does work. It does work. I just went ahead and stepped down the redstone signal and ran it into that block next to that piston. I've never actually set this up in this way before, but I mean, hey, it works, so doesn't really matter, and I ain't got to try and squeeze in a piston facing upside down and all. So the idea is we just right click here, and as you can see, the block comes up and cuts off light so that basically the carrots pop off of the block. Now all we need to do is fill in this guy, and this guy with bone meal, and this thing should be working. Okay, so I'm going to need to sit at my skeleton spawner more in the future because I don't have a ton of bone meal right now, but that's okay. I can do that later, but for right now, let's just give this thing a test. We're starting off with 10 carrots, and let's just go ahead and use this thing until I don't have any more carrots in my hand. And I think I have one extra one fly into my hand, but needless to say, 35 carrots. This farm is working. Nice and simple. Ugly. We need to clean it up a little bit, but it works, and that's all that matters. I should probably also get in some type of rail cart system to pick up all of the carrots, but not right now. We'll do that later. Right now, another farm. So the next farm that I want to do is a melon and pumpkin farm, and these things are actually not too difficult to build. They're just kind of a pain to place the observers. Like, mechanically, this farm is super simple, but building it's pretty annoying, and because of that, I'm actually not going to do a full-size melon and pumpkin farm either. Technically, I could make this quite a bit further back, but yeah, like I said, I don't feel like doing that, so we're just going to make a relatively small one. We should still get plenty of melons and pumpkins out of this farm, though. Shouldn't be a big deal at all, but there we go. Those are all of the observers in place. Now we should be able to just remove this layer of dirt and put the pistons in underneath, and should be fine. Oh no, get back in there, water. I think that the reason that I hate building this farm so much is that both pistons and observers are directional whenever you place them, and they are opposite direction, right? So in order to get the observers facing this way, you have to place them from the top, and in order to get the pistons facing this way, you have to place them from the bottom, and it's super, super annoying, but I don't know of a better way. I don't know of a better way for Minecraft to do this, because I definitely find myself placing observers the other way more often. So, I mean, I feel like the default is good, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe a way to rotate these guys would be really nice to have in the game. Alright, so now just a little bit of redstone on the back of that, and this should be the first part of the farm done. Now, I don't actually need to light up here because redstone is actually non-spawnable, so if you have redstone on the ground, nothing will spawn on top of it. I still probably want to fill in that hole in the ceiling at some point, but I don't have any normal stone on me right now, so I'll come back and do that later. For now, I think I want to go ahead and get the rail line in place to pick up all of the items, and then we will actually plant all of the melons and pumpkins. We'll do that absolutely last. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, not my prettiest redstone, but it works. So, what we have is a hopper going into a chest over here from our hopper minecart that's going to be picking up all of our melons and pumpkins. Whenever that minecart docks over here, we are going to have a comparator coming out from that hopper into a redstone torch and then just powering this redstone line up here, which is going to take care of that rail. So if we go ahead and just give this guy some items, whenever he is unloading here, so whenever there is any item inside of this hopper, this redstone line is going to turn off, and that thing is going to dock until that hopper is empty. Once it is empty, he will go ahead and take off once again and start collecting up items. Absolutely perfect. Ugly redstone, but it works, so I don't care. Alrighty, and there we go. The melon and pumpkin farm is now in. I actually don't have enough pumpkin seeds in order to completely fill out the farm, but as I get more pumpkins from the farm, I will go ahead and fully plant this whole thing. Now, I do just want to mention that this is by no means the most efficient farm out there. I could have made this thing bigger. I could have used note blocks and some quasi-connectivity in order to get the pistons to fire and to fire, you know, not all at once. But honestly, this is fine. This is fine for me. This is just going to run in the background of the world, so I'm not super concerned about it being the most efficient thing ever. So I'm good. I'm good. That's done. This is done. The skeleton farm's done. I'm looking like I'm in good shape. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me today. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.